Another big day in the Lori Vallow murder trial. I want to put up this tweet right now from Fox 10's Justin Lum. They're on the ground in Idaho, live coming up at 5 p.m. Arizona time. The verdict watch continues for now. Jury deliberations are underway after the prosecution and defense presented closing arguments today. For more, we're going to be joined there on the ground in Idaho by Justin Lum. Thank you so much for joining us. What did we learn today, and maybe how long are these deliberations going to last before we get a verdict?
Hey Andy, yeah, verdict watch continues. We are waiting. The jury began its deliberations about 4 hours ago. We are down to the final 12 jurors, 7 men and 5 women, together deciding the fate of Lori Vallow. Now, as for closing arguments earlier today, the prosecution brought out something similar to what we heard in opening statements, that the motives of this case are about money, power, and sex. Lead prosecutor Rob Wood said Lori Vallow and Chad Daybell's affair back in 2018 to 2019 really set off a sequence of events leading to 3 murders. The victims we know as JJ Vallow, Tylee Ryan, and Tammy Daybell. The prosecution said Vallow was the leader in all of this with a plan all along. Wood told the jury that Vallow, Daybell, and her late brother Alex Cox could not kill her kids in Arizona, where they had many family members and friends. So she moved them from Chandler to Rexburg and continued to collect her children's social security benefits even months after they had been murdered. Wood said this case isn't all about religion, despite what we've heard about the end of the world, seeing dark spirits, and trying to rid the world of zombies. Some bizarre allegations, but the prosecution says the issue here is that Vallow has used her beliefs to justify murder. Vallow's attorney, Jim Archibald, basically pinned the crimes on her husband and alleged co-conspirator Chad Daybell. The defense, as you remember, did not call one witness and really painted Vallow as a victim today. Archibald even got emotional at times and said Vallow looked to Daybell as Jesus, blaming him for her remarkable change. The defense said there's no proof that Vallow killed any of the victims. Take a listen to some of the closing arguments. First, the prosecution, and then the defense.
There is no question that Tylee Ryan, JJ Vallow, and Tammy Daybell were murdered. Who is the common thread? Lori Vallow. What does justice for these victims require? It requires a conviction of each and every count. Look at the timeline. Ladies and gentlemen, go back through the elements, go back through the evidence, and you must convict her.
She wants to tell the world how much she loves Jesus. She wants to tell you that she personally met him on more than one occasion. But is Lori a leader, or is she a follower of Chad? She so wants to be a leader, but she's not leading anyone. She's following Chad.
And you just heard Jim Archibald right there. Meanwhile, we are still waiting for this verdict to be reached. Just a little while ago, pizza was delivered for these jurors to have sort of a dinner break. They plan to get back to it. We are waiting to see if they decide to go home, but right now it is on them, and we will keep you all updated on when a verdict is reached. Andy?
Thank you so much, Justin. As we continue, I want to put up this tweet because it might seem odd to some people, but jurors still in the building. Pizza has been ordered as we're expecting for a long day, a long night for this verdict. Maybe how long do we expect this to last? And obviously Friday, potentially into the weekend. What does it look like for this jury deliberations in there in Idaho?
Honestly, it is really too hard to tell. Right now, they are in the jury room with so many exhibits. They have absorbed so much evidence. So really, this is going to take some time to see where this jury is at the final 12. There are 6 alternates also ready to go if need be. But yeah, right now we know that the door here at the courthouse is open at least through 9. So could that be a deadline for them to decide if they go home and recover and rest, or if we get to a verdict by then? We'll see.
Definitely, and obviously we will decide innocent or guilty. Do you know what will happen if Lori Vallow is found guilty? Maybe what will happen if she is found not guilty?
Well, that's a good question. You have about 6 counts here, the first-degree murder, and you have the conspiracy counts as well, the murder conspiracy charges and grand theft. So it's going to depend here because there are different victims here and what the jury finds to see if beyond a reasonable doubt that she conspired in the death of Tammy Daybell, J.J. Vallow, and Tylee Ryan. And even Archibald had said, her defense attorney, there is no direct evidence to say that she actually killed any of these victims. The prosecution says she definitely aided and abetted with malice. So, you know, we're looking at life in prison, up to life in prison, if convicted of all these charges. We know the death penalty was taken off the table, and a lot of eyes are watching, especially in Arizona, if she'll be brought to trial in Maricopa County for the murder of Charles Vallow. We will see what prosecutors in Maricopa County do based on this verdict.
Definitely. I do have to ask you because obviously this would be one of the last times we hear from the defense in this, and they're kind of throwing it on Chad Daybell as well. What is your perspective on that and the defense, just the fact that they didn't call any witnesses and now the defense kind of throwing it on Chad as well? What is your perspective on this?
Well, we know if Lori Vallow did actually take the stand and decided to testify, there would have been some expert witnesses called, but she chose not to testify. No witnesses were called, and really not surprised at basically the blame game here, and Archibald saying that, hey, somebody else was responsible for this. Somebody else had led her down the wrong path. The prosecution is saying she did have a plan all along, and Chad Daybell would do anything for her. It's important to note that after we came back from the lunch break, her whole back was turned to the gallery. She looked visibly upset. Not sure exactly why, but could it be this narrative that was put out by her defense attorney saying that she's basically a victim in all of this? And I'm not sure what she was basically so upset about, but it took some time for her to kind of get back to normal, as one of her attorneys looked like he was talking to her and trying to, keep her calm.
Definitely. Justin Lum, always great to talk to you there in Idaho. Great reporting as always. And we will continue to wait until the verdict is in there. We appreciate your time as always.
Thanks, Andy.